Hi, I'm Perry Atkinson, General Manager here at theDove. Hey, check out our other videos and check out our website at thedove.us. Welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson, and coming up, we'll get her straightened out here in just a moment. We're delighted to have back in the studio with us today Penny Esser. She is the Foster and Adoption Recruitment and Retention Specialist for Jackson County Health and Human Services, and the big need in Jackson County. And if you've been thinking about perhaps becoming a foster parent and a foster family, let me tell you, the need has never been greater. Right, Penny? Good to see you.
That's correct. The need is great.
Really? You were telling me just earlier, you got, what, 400 foster children in the system that need homes?
No, we have around 400 children in foster care in Jackson County right now.
All right, and how big is your need?
Well, our need is tremendous. Really? We have around 6 beds that are available to children.
Wow.
So if we had a sibling group come in today, which we've had before, of 6, we would have to split them up, number one, and put one in each bed. And then that's not talking about matching children. We really want to match children to, you know, the families that we have.
This is incredible. If somebody's interested in this, what happens? What do they need to do? I know the need is great. How do they get a hold of you or the system, or what do they do?
Well, we have a special recruitment line with DHS Child Welfare, and that's here in Jackson County. And the number is 541-776-6120, and then the extension is 264. But if you just call that main line, people will direct you to me.
What do they need to do? If they're interested in doing this, what's the process for them to become a foster parent and family?
Well, actually, this Thursday, when you're having your open house, they can stop by our open house from 11:30 to 1.
Okay.
It's at the old Job Council building on Market Street in Medford. We're hosting an informational open house, like I said, from 11:30 to 1, and people can come at that time to learn more about foster care and actually adoption too. We have a lot of kids that are in foster care that are free for adoption and need adoptive families. But in order to be a foster parent, of course, the main thing is to pass a background check and a child welfare check. And then they have to do about 28 hours of training, and then have a home study. So their home is actually certified. But we really need folks from the faith community.
Yeah. And
we have quite a few on board, and they are actually not only ministering to the children that they serve, but also the workers that are involved with them.
Because what an opportunity.
What an opportunity.
Is there an average age to all of this, or are they all over the board?
Age of foster families?
Or the children.
Oh, the children are 0 to 18.
0 to 18.
Right, but the bulk of the children are under 6 years of age.
Wow.
But we desperately need people that would be willing to take sibling groups, because they don't usually come in ones. And then, of course, teens. Teens are a little more difficult to place sometimes, although sometimes I wonder why, because they can fix your computer.
Well, there you go. If you're having problems with all the electronics in your house, be a foster parent to some teens. Well, that's true. And again, what an opportunity for the faith community to step up and get involved in this. And how big of a commitment? I mean, for years, how does this work?
Well, we say one child, one time is a success. And I want to mention, too, that people coming into the program or curious about it sometimes start out doing just respite care. That's way less involved. We just do a background and child welfare check. And then we have those people's names available to foster parents who need a break. And all of us need a break, and especially foster families when they are doing a tremendous work all over. I mean, it's not an easy job, but it's almost like the Peace Corps used to say, it's the hardest job you'll ever love.
Yeah.
Because it is really an important thing. We couldn't do our work as a child welfare agency helping children that have been abused and neglected if we didn't have a place to put them, a safe home. I also think that it's a way that the faith community can partner with child welfare and the Department of Human Services. And I think there's some times a distrust on working with a state agency like we are. But I want to assure people that it is an open field for people of faith to come in. And the way I have thought about getting more foster homes, and my dream would be 100 new homes. And what if they came from the faith community?
Oh, wow.
That would be awesome. Well, one way to do it, I think there's well over 200 churches in the Rogue Valley.
Right.
If every church could commit to taking one or having one foster family in their church, we'd be done.
There you go. There you go. So there's an opportunity. Maybe a church leader should go to this thing and just find out the do's and don'ts and then pass it on to the families within the church. You know, just learn what this is all about.
And I'm available to come to churches. I have a whole packet of information that's specifically to the faith community that could be
well, there you go.
Brought and presented. So
again, Penny, that number is I have it right, 776-6120?
Correct.
Okay.
That's the main number.
That's the main number, 776-6120 and extension 264. You want to get a hold of Penny Esser to learn more about this. And again, the need is terrific. Is it possible, and I don't know what the long-range goals planning and thinking is, but is it possible where we may not need foster care?
Well, then I could retire. I would be in.
Well, you don't want to do that, do you?
No, because for me it's a ministry.
Yeah, right.
That's why I've continued on these 23 years doing this job.
Wow.
But I hope so.
Can we reduce the number of kids into the system?
Well, they're very much trying to do that, and contrary to what, you know, the sensational things that are on television, we do not go out looking for children to place in foster care. Actually, we're just hoping and praying that today will pass and we will not have to do that.
Right.
When we do have children that have been abused to the point where they cannot do a safety plan in the home, which is the first step, then we have to remove them from the home temporarily, and that's what foster care is a temporary placement for children while their parents can work on the trouble that's in their lives. And we always look for relatives first or connected people. So if we didn't have relatives, we would be in a world of hurt, because 2/3 of our foster families in Jackson County are relatives or kin folks.
That's wonderful. Okay, so again, you have this open house coming up May 21st from 11:30 to 1. It's going to be there at the Market Street, the old Job Council building on Market Street. So it's just off Biddle Road. And what's going to happen there during that time?
Well, I'm going to explain the foster care system. I'm going to give out a lot of information. We have a person that's both a foster parent and an adoptive parent, as well as being a former foster child, who comes and talks about it from a personal point of view. So there's lots of information. It's very informal, but I think people will be inspired, you know, if they come, inspired to at least find a way, if it's not foster care, to help children in our community. And I just wanted to maybe read this one thing, because sometimes people say, oh, I could never be a foster parent. And the one thing that I heard or have written down here that a foster parent wrote, and it said, people tell me all the time I could never be a foster parent. It would be too hard to say goodbye. But the truth is, we are all capable of doing more than we think. That's, I think, really good, especially where kids are involved. These kids desperately need kind hearts to turn around in the car and hold their hands, calm their fears. We have no control over the start and very little control over the finish of their time in foster care, but we can choose to be the person they need in the middle. Does it hurt? Yes. Is it worth it? Yes. So.
Before I let you go, how big is the need for adoption?
Well, there's children all over Oregon that need adoptive homes that are free for adoption. And they are all coming out of the foster care system. So anybody that would want to adopt, there's no charge. Well, you pay your taxes, but
Right.
there's no charge to get an adoptive home study here in the state.
That's wonderful. Well, let me encourage you, again, it'll be this Thursday from 11:30 to 1 there at the old Job Councils on Market Street, just off Biddle Road. If you see where People's Bank is, turn down there and you'll see it. And check it out, or give Penny a call at 776-6120, extension 264. The need is great, and the opportunity has never been better. And again, for those of you in church leadership, you may want to you yourself go or send somebody from your church, just learn about this. And I think you make an excellent point. If every church would have one adoptive family in it in Jackson County, your need would be met. Yeah,
foster family.
Foster family. Your need would be met.
It would be more than met.
Okay, great. Thanks, Penny.
Thank you.
We're going to Skype in from Nepal coming up in just a few moments.